Got my hands on the Crescent Smallie SF specialized fishing. This is actually Drew Gregory's kayak, and what he doesn't know is he's not getting it back. He doesn't know where I live. I'm never answering another one of his calls ever again. But what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm gonna walk you through 3 different things. I'm gonna walk you through all the features. That's kind of like no brainer. Then I'm gonna give you my rating system on it and where I think it performs in rigability and performance and speed and stability and all that stuff. And then I'm gonna share with you the type of angle that this kayak would be perfect for, so let's hop in. All right, let's talk about some of the pre-molded features. We're gonna have a bow power landing. So as you can see right here, it's nice and flat. You're gonna be able to actually put a motor on the bow of your kayak right there. Now, this is kind of neat. On the seat, it comes in like 2 different levels, right? This is gonna be the lowest position. And then if you take this cam strap, loosen it up. It's hard whenever you got one hand. All right, got that loosened up. And what you can do is you can lift this up and you got a high seating position. Then you just tighten this bad boy. Look at that. So I actually took it out and had it on the high seating position. Actually got some nice stops down here. So makes it nice and soft. I wish they had them down here as well. I wonder why they didn't do that. Of course, when you move this up, the stability is going to be a little bit more difficult. So if you struggle with stability, you might want to put this down. But I like having my knees bent. And that's how I'm just used to fishing. But nonetheless, you can move this up and down depending on your preference. Also molded in, you got 2 cup holders, one right here. This one's holding my Yeti coffee, which I'm gonna have some right now. It's got dual catchboard recesses. And so you can keep your catchboard down here. And so it's got a recess there. You can flip it over. It's gonna lock that in. And also, when you're measuring a fish, you bring this bad boy up here. This is the 26-inch catchboard. And I think I got a 5% code off for you. I think it's Wendell fishing. If not, I'll figure it out in editing and I'll throw it on the screen. But take your picture of your bass there. Some people like to do this angle, keeps the mouth of that fish shut there. Nonetheless, real easy. Also, what we got here, which is nice, is a notched kind of paddle park. You can put a variety of different things in here. End up putting a motor on, a stern mounted motor. This could be where you put your throttle. You also can put kind of those paddle connectors if you just don't want it sitting in here. I think I got one. Let me see, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. There it is, one of these guys. If you wanted to, you can buy these from YakAttack. I'll throw the link in the description below. And then it wouldn't knock around down there. It'd be nice and soft. Also, what we got is a notched kind of paddle park. Stick your paddle up in here. You also have some notched out areas for a rod to kind of sit. And this is got a little bungee right there, little give. So you can strap all that down. You got these guys right here, which is kind of, if your pole just kind of sits up there, it's just gonna keep it nice sitting in there, no problems. Got 4 of those on each side. And if you open this up, you can fit a couple rods down here. It's kind of made for that, which is really interesting. So wasn't the easiest getting my rod in there. Might be something, yeah, you like doing. If you got a shorter rod, it's gonna be a little more difficult if you have a longer rod. On the hatch, of course, you're gonna have a seal there. It's gonna keep it nice and waterproof. And it's got nice little bungee tabs, just nice and easy. Click those in. Also down here on the side of the kayak, this was sitting down, it's high right now, but you can fit one of these in there. Fit one on the other side as well. This kayak has a padded kit, which is nice. Going to keep down dampening the noise. Also here in the back, in case you're running a black pack or some type of kayak crate. We'll get to that in just a second. You got anodized aluminum tracks here. Now, the cool thing about these are actually from Catch. This is the first time Catch has an OEM part with Crescent. So these are all going to be high quality Catch products. Of course, you got your adjustable foot pegs. The kayak is American made. If you don't believe me, just look. It's etched into the kayak itself. And you got the seat as well, made in the United States. Fabric's made in Georgia, hand sewn in South Carolina. Now this kayak right here is 65 pounds. However, if you remove the seat, I believe it's 62 pounds or 63 pounds. One of the two. Nonetheless, save a couple pounds, take the seat out if your throw would go in this bad boy. All right, let's talk about the space back here. A lot of times people like to put kayak crates. And so if you have something like this, you made your own kayak crate, this will fit. This is a 13 by 13. It'll fit, of course, the black pack as well, the 13 by 13. And I was wondering, will it fit the 13 by 16? So I went over here earlier, unscrewed the top of my black pack off. This is the short sack, which is 13 by 16. Let's see if it fits. Oh yeah, perfect. Perfect fit and boom. Check that out. So if you want a low profile, you can just buy the short stack, but you can buy the 13 by 13 or the 13 by 16. Now the question is, how on the 13 by 16, how many tether tubes do you need to get on the side of this? Those things are pretty thick. You might get 1 or 2. So that'll be interesting. Not quite sure, not sure about that. So I'll be thinking through it. Probably a 13 by 13, you'd be good, but maybe not, because this is 13 inches right here. So might have an issue potentially with the tether tubes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, these are the tether tubes, and they're pretty wide, like 2.5 inches wide. So not sure if you're gonna have issues if you plan on putting tether tubes on the side of your black pack, because they actually come with a few of them. I believe the 13 by 13 comes with 3, 13 by 16 comes with 4, and they actually make a 16 by 16, which comes with 6, but that won't fit the Smallie SF. All right, got a lot of storage down here, and something's interesting as well. Let's go ahead and take a look in here. You're not gonna have a lot of flex on the deck. Because if you get down here, you can see there's supports that run the length of the kayak. So that's good news. You're gonna get a little flex. I mean, it is a plastic kayak, but nonetheless, that's gonna be good. Also, something is nice. You look back here, this is pre-plumbed. So if you wanna put, and I believe in the future, they're gonna have some modifications here where you can have some foot steering, and you can actually run that. It's pre-plumbed. The wires will come out, hook on the motor, and it'll turn it left and right. So that's really nice, good forethought and design there. Kind of molded in handle to lift in the back or in the front. Simply lift it with this guy. And this is nice too, because you can lift it up, but also in this cam, this stretches out really nice and long. And so if you're throwing this out of your truck and you need to drag it to your body of water that you're getting in, this makes a nice little shoulder strap. You can kind of drag that to the water. Also back here, you don't have to put a motor. Say you're taking this thing down the old river, down a stream. It's got some moving water. This will fit a power pole as well. So a couple options here. It's really good as is, but there's a lot of upgradable options. The next features I want to show on this is actually going to be the keel design, because that's going to share a lot about how this kayak will handle. So let me take some of the stuff off. We flip it over and walk you through that keel design. Now we have the underside of this kayak, and there's going to be a focus on primary stability, right? It's going to have what they call a bulbous kind of nose to it. So as you're going through the river and some choppy water, it's going to keep that kayak from diving into the water. It's going to keep it up out of the water. So that's kind of the design here. As we walk down, of course, you get your chines out here on the outside. It's got a compressed center keel for a shallower draft, and a pronounced keel at the stern for excellent tracking. And I will be completely honest with you, for a 10.5 foot kayak, I was impressed about how well this tracks. And so the reason it tracks so well is because of this design. Also, something I like is, of course, it has a recessed area here. This is for a transducer if you want to put one in there. So you can see the scuppers are recessed as well. The idea is you want a nice smooth water flow. You don't want water getting caught into these scuppers. You actually see they're kind of designed with that angle, being that this is the front of the boat. Water's coming through here. It's not going to create almost like a break for you. And now let me give you my ratings. Let's start with portability. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5 paddles. This is really, for the most part, a lightweight kayak. You can easily throw it in and out of the back of your truck, drag it down to your body of water. You can rooftop it. It's not going to be that difficult for you to put this on top of your car. In fact, I just got done doing a video doing just that. So this is one of those kayaks, throw it in the back of your truck and you're driving by someplace, you're like, hey, I wonder if there's fish in there. And you can definitely easily get this down to the water. Next, let's talk about stability, the number one question that everybody has. And for a 10.5 foot kayak, I'm going to give this 3.5 paddles. It's a 10.5 foot kayak. It's not going to have fantastic stability, but for me, I can stand and fish in this, but it's not a stand and fish platform for everyone. But overall, I don't feel like I'm going to flip over. It feels secure. And to be honest with you, there's probably not a 10.5 foot kayak that's ever going to get 5 paddles from me. Next, let's talk about rigability. I think there's a lot of forethought into the design of this kayak, probably coming from Gregory as a tournament fishing. You have a lot of places to put camera mounts, places to put paddle, places to put power poles, motors on the front, motors on the back, pre-plumbed, 2 different decks for your seating position. Just a lot of unique features for a kayak. So I'm gonna give this 5 out of 5 for rigability. All right, next let's talk about maneuverability. Now, as a shorter kayak, of course, this is gonna get high ratings. I'm gonna give this a 4.5 paddles out of 5. This is gonna be really great for just being able to turn on a dime. I had it out in a real windy situation and I was handling it just fine. It's really great for those rivers, really great for those currents, being able to turn and maneuver this this thing quickly when you need it to. For speed, it's also gonna get it 3.5 paddles out of 5. Being a shorter kayak, you're not really going for speed, but it tracks pretty darn well. Probably has something to do with that pronounced keel, which they did a really good job on. All right, next we're talking about weight capacity. I'm gonna give this a 3 paddles. It has a 375 pound weight capacity. So that's gonna include the angler, the seat, everything you put on it, your motors, your power pole, your batteries, everything. 375. A good rule of thumb, you want to stay between 80 to 85% of the weight capacity to have this thing performing well for you. So if you're a big guy or you're a big girl and you plan on just loading this thing down with graphs and batteries and motors and power poles, you're simply just going to have to do the math, how much you weigh, and then you're going to be able to determine whether this is going to be a good kayak. Let's talk about tracking. I'm actually going to give it 4 out of 5 paddles for tracking. This actually tracked very well, especially when I was paddling in the wind. I was actually surprised. Typically we give something like this, I would imagine a 3 to 3.5. It's going to get 4 from it. Comfort. Now, if it was only in the low position, I would only give this a 3, but I'm actually going to give this a 4 to 5 paddles for comfort. I felt really relaxed in this. I was in it for a couple hours, and so comfortability, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. And lastly, let's talk about value. I'm going to give a 4 out of 5 for value. I really like this kayak, and I believe as for the price point, for the design input from Gregory, I think this is a really great entry-level kayak for a lot of anglers out there. Type of angler, I believe this is perfect for the throw and go angler, right? You can throw this on top of your car, making it perfect for those quick sessions before or after work, or for hitting those remote, hard to reach places. Also, the bank angler looking to take the next step into a fishing kayak will love the Smallie SF. It's easy learning curve, great primary stability, intuitive layout, but still has those pro level rigging potential as your skills grow. This is gonna be really great for the creek and river angler. It's really designed with a medium rocker and that bulbous bow we talked about. It's really agile in tight quarters, rides high in the chop, making it really ideal for moving river, creek fishing, especially when you need to bounce between current seams and eddies. I also think this is gonna be really great for the minimalist, right? If you buy it as is, you're good to go. You don't have to put everything on it. But if you're looking for a kayak that you can buy and then you can kind of grow into, you're like, hey, I'm motor curious, I'm power pole curious, I'm really curious and maybe getting into some lake fishing. This just isn't a creek fishing kayak. If you want to get into tournament angling, it has all the rigability to kind of upgrade as you grow as an angler. And you're like, hey, maybe I don't have $5,000 right now to get into a really sick setup. Maybe I have $1,300, $1,400 to get the kayak, and then over time, add things as I deem necessary. So maybe you like what you're listening to here, but you're still curious how in the world you're gonna get this thing on top of your car without breaking your back. Well, I got the video for you. Check that out right there. Hope you guys like this. I'll see ya.